What's going on, you guys, and welcome back to a different perspective. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because over here on this channel we talk about everything in between when it comes to self-help, relationships, goals, you name it. When it comes to the human experience, we're going to talk about it, and talk about it in regards to all the different perspectives that may be involved. So we got a video here today. And next week, by the way, I'm going to do a video on PTSD. I'm going to do a video on PTSD. Y'all been asking me about it. I've been avoiding it for like the past year. It's going to cause me to bring back some of my own dark thoughts and memories, which I'm going to be sharing vocally with you all. So be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for that. But yeah, we got a video here. This dude is like the master cheater. You know, they say that women cheat better than men, or at least they do a better job of not get caught. Some women, obviously, which is true, very true. But this guy here might be up there too. He might be on that level. Y'all boys and girls ready? I'm ready. Let's check this out.
I've never been caught. I developed these habits. I would go to the bathroom to take a shower every day when I got home. I didn't really want to take multiple showers in a day, but I know that if I was coming home from cheating, that it was going to be a necessity. I didn't need to look out of the ordinary. I'd always have a friend, and they will help to stretch out my lies with.
Yo, check this out, man. This dude is really going the extra miles. Coming home after cheating, taking a shower to cover up, or to get rid of, I should say, the scent of another woman. Women, I don't know, they got some noses on them. They can smell stuff. They can smell stuff. You know what I'm saying? They can smell if another woman has been all up on you. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. Oh man, then he said he uses a buddy of his. Wow, to help push the narrative.
We'll take even some pictures together that might not be on that day, and I'll save these pictures and I'll even post them to maybe a Snapchat. I'll block everybody from.
Yo, really, real talk, what he's doing is what a lot of females do. Everything that he said so far, I know females to do this stuff. They will go the extra yards, the extra miles to cover up their cheating ways or their lies. Taking pictures, posting them later. I see it all the time.
The story but her, so she has like this personalized story. I've done some things that have thrown her off. I saved my sister's Snapchat. I block everybody from the story but her, so she has like this personalized story.
Whoa, that's crazy. I don't use Snapchat no more, but that makes a lot of sense. You post a story and this person has a personalized story. What he's saying is only that girl that is meant to see this story can see this story. No one else. So it's like, oh my God, that's a major cover up. That's crazy.
Some things that have thrown her off. I saved my sister's name in my phone as Beautiful Girl, because I knew it would attract her to go through it. And my sister told me about, your girl called me, and so it worked out. So I was able to confront her and say, why would you go through my phone? She said, why you have her in there as Beautiful Girl? I said,
manipulation. Wow. Wow.
And there's Beautiful Girl. I said, that's just a nickname I've had for her whole life. It just made her feel like.
Now, if his girl was smart enough to confront the sister and ask her that, then the sister probably would tell her, he ain't call me no beautiful girl growing up. He think he's slick. He up to something.
Made her feel like, wow, like I shouldn't have been going through his phone. I've been with my girl for about 5 years. When I got with my girl, I already had a baby on the way. I didn't want her to know about that, so I couldn't be honest with her from the beginning. My baby mother thinks I live in transitional housing, and I actually been living with this girl for 5 years because I can't.
Him saying that has me thinking about too many men that I know, including my own grandfather, that had multiple families that he was keeping away from one another. My grandfather had 2 whole families, and they didn't find out about each other until the kids were adults. I don't know if I told y'all that story, but if y'all want to, comment down below. I will tell you the story. It's a crazy one. It's a crazy one.
Can't afford for her to put me on child support. The process service could come looking for me at the address that I'm at. We all live within like 20 minutes from each other. They can't come to my house because I live in transitional housing.
I'm not saying this right, but God, he's a genius. See, the problem here is for anyone out here, and there's people out here that can move this way, very slick, very sly, why can't they apply this same type of energy to becoming successful or making something of themselves? I once heard in my favorite book, I read it in my favorite book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It said that for most men, they don't really acquire real financial freedom or success until they're in their 40s, 50s, or sometimes their 60s. And the reason being is because in the 20s and 30s, those are the lustful years. Those are the years where we're chasing women the most, usually, because those are the years where our hormones are heightened and we're excited. Obviously the teenage years as well, but it's typically not to the 40s and 50s. And part of the reason is because either we've gotten tired of the chase, or we found someone that we want to spend the rest of our life with, or our man's just not doing what he used to do. You know what I'm saying? So they said that that same energy that you use to chase after or to lust after the opposite sex is the same energy that you're supposed to use to put into being successful. It's the exact same energy, but you just have to learn how to transmute that energy from one thing to the other. And when I first learned that and heard about it, it messed me up, because I'm like, dang. So I need to stop chasing these women for a while so that I can become successful, so I can put myself in that position. When I tell you it worked, when I tell all of 2019, 2020, put my head down, focused, my business, my grind, my YouTube channels. Best decision I could have made. Now I'm messing up 2021. I'm messing up. I'm back to chasing, and I'm chasing a bunch of them now. But heck, it is what it is, I guess.
I have structured my Instagram to attract new women constantly, to make myself seem like a ladies' man, and it works. I started talking to girls and giving them like a proposition like, help make me popular. Take a picture with me, post it, that made it seem like we had more of a relationship than what we really did. You know, there's gonna be like a little financial incentive. Of course they didn't get anything. When I see my male friends go out with a girl and she's pretty, I'll have them send me the video, and it'll look like I'm taking that pretty girl out to eat, and I'll post that on my page as well. I would imagine.
What? What kind of friends you got that's gonna allow you to post videos of the girls that they talking to as if those girls are yours? And what kind of girls are you talking to that's gonna allow you to pretend be in a relationship to build your popularity? What? This dude is on a whole other level with this mess. Oh man, this is what I'm talking about. If he can learn how to do this, he can learn how to apply himself in a manner that will make him more successful in life. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if this is his scheme, if this is his game, then there's not a whole lot of room for his brand, his business, his self, his pockets, his financial well-being. I learned that back in 2019 when I was trying to talk to a few women. I had to cut it out because it was hard for me to balance my business and dealing with these women. I'm gonna see if I can do it this year, but it's already screwing me up. Already.
Imagine they're thinking, wow, he's sitting here and he's getting attention from these really beautiful girls. These women see something in me, and you need to come and find out what that is. I have some pictures with my kids on the Instagram, so if you're looking for somebody who takes care of his family, it looks like I do more for my kids than what I actually do, and that's what I want to portray. If you're looking for somebody that goes out and has fun and take you out and change your life, that could be me. They don't know until after the fact. On Instagram, I will not let my girl follow me. When I first got with her, we got into an argument about social media, and I told her, you need to add me right now, Instagram and Facebook. But that's before it got really good, before I started doing my stuff. She's like, I'm not going to be your friend. Now she wants to go back on that, but I said, no, you need to stand on what you said all those years ago. And my page is private, so she can't see what's going on. I maybe only sleep with maybe 1 to 2 girls at a time, and then I maybe have maybe 10 to 15 girls that I talk to that might be able to get interchanged into that. When I do go to cheat,
that right there is the prime definition of having options. That right there is having options. And it's sad, and there's so much truth to it, unfortunately. But when a female knows and sees that you have options, a lot of times those females are more inclined or enticed by you and want to be with you or be close to you, because it shows that you are valuable. It shows that you are wanted. It shows that other women desire you. I remember when I first learned it was back in high school. I went like my entire high school career without talking to anyone until my senior year. This new girl came to school. She was infatuated by me. She showed interest in me. We talked. Next thing I know, there were other females in the school that I had never spoken to ready to fight her over me. My interest level went up for those girls because someone took interest in me. It happens. Even when I'm out in Atlanta walking around in the city, if I'm by myself, I try to talk to a young lady that I spot, she's giving me the cold shoulder. But if I'm talking to her, or if I'm out and another female is with me, then girls are looking at me hard. They're looking at her with a bunch of anger and aggression on their face. Like, how did she get him? What does she have that I don't have? I see it. These are like women are like, they interesting. They interesting. You got to learn their nature though. You got to learn their nature.
I like to take them places where I know that there's not going to be the other girls that I talk to. Movie theaters because it's dark. If I can get away with getting Chick-fil-A and going to the beach, I will, because I know I'm not going to spend over $20, $30. Once sex get involved, I can manipulate a lot better. I think sex is more of like a tool for like getting to where you want. What could I get from it? Maybe it's a new job somewhere. I've had several girls buy me cars within the last few years, and I've explained it off to my girlfriend, like where I got this other car from. Depending on how low their self-esteem is, it will depend on how easy it is to get them to not pay attention to my shortcomings. And the bigger that they are.
You hear what he's saying? He said 2 things that I want you guys to really take account of. Ladies, I know I got ladies that watch me as well. Be aware of this. Be aware of this. Because this is something that a lot of guys do understand. The sex and an insecure woman. Those 2 things. Separately powerful, together even worse. And what I mean by that is a guy knows that once he starts to get that then he has you a little bit more invested, especially if the condoms are removed. It's like some type of superpower. I was talking about it with a buddy of mine recently. He had a young lady that he was fooling around with. He wasn't interested in her on a serious level. But once he removed that condom, it only took one time. This girl was buying him shoes. This girl was whatever. She was so invested and wanted to be with him once that condom came off that it really jaded what she thought that relationship was, even though he had already told her and stated clear as day that he didn't want anything serious with her. But she wanted to push for that. She wanted to push for something to happen because now he was able to give her something, please her in a way that just kind of blew her mind. And you know, it's much better without the rubber, but we got to stay protected out here, right? So the other thing, insecurity. This guy understands that he can play on a woman's insecurity and use that to his own advantage. This goes both ways. Men will do it to women and women will do it to men.
The better it is for cheating, at least, because they'll accept whatever they get. Lizzo kind of fucked up the game with that because she's really empowered the body positivity movement and made all these fat women just feel like they're like legit like somebody special. So that's a growing problem that I ran into. Confident fat women.
He said that's a growing problem that I ran into, confident fat women. Now Lizzo also came out and said that that was all a cover-up for her own insecurities. Tried to be body positive when really she wasn't feeling very good about her body. And that's something that I kind of knew off the rip, off the back. I was like, she really don't like her body. She just wants to be body positive to make herself feel better and to make other women like herself feel better. She don't like it. I don't like having this fat on me. I don't like it at all. I'm not gonna preach body positivity when I'm actually feeling negative about my body. It's cap, it's fake, don't do it.
Enjoy fat.
You shouldn't want to praise being unhealthy. You shouldn't want to praise being unhealthy. Both my mother and my aunt are no longer here. They passed away at a very young age because they were unhealthy. They were big. They were about Lizzo size.
At women for cuddling, but my favorite is like if she's had like the gastric bypass, because she'll have the self-esteem of a fat girl but the body of a fit girl. So it's like the best of both worlds. I've been with some super conservative women, and
you know why he said that? That's fascinating. Wow, this dude is smarter than I thought. For him to realize that is mind-blowing, because he said that his favorite are the girls that have the gastric bypass surgeries. He says they have the confidence of a big girl but the body of a fit girl initially, is what he said. So my understanding of that is, if you ever look at someone who has had plastic surgery, a lot of times they continue to go under the knife because to them they still look the same. A lot of times they still view themselves as that same unattractive, or that issue that they had with themselves previously, it's still there to some degree. They're never really quite satisfied. Studies have been shown that for this to be true. And what he just said was initially that these girls might have got this surgery done, this bypass surgery to get this fat removed from them, but in their head they're still that big person. They still somewhat view themselves as that big person. So they have the confidence of that big person, but in actuality, they're much smaller in size. This dude is a bit too aware with his scheming ways.
Then I'll have conservative opinions. And then when I'm with women that are like really on the far left, like I personally don't care about things either way, but I know how to tailor my opinions. I would just say whatever I have to say to appeal to anybody. Their music, their political ideologies. Sometimes you start to genuinely care about these people and you want to share your own opinions and your own worldviews. And I try not to do that because that messes up the finesse. For instance, I was with the girl and I was agreeing with a political opinion that she had, but it wasn't what I really felt. And it started to cause a rift between us. But I was able to recognize what I was doing and then go back to having the same opinions and thoughts as she had, and it was able to put us back on the right track. I do lose sight of what I'm doing sometimes, because sometimes there's some really bad people. They're stealing stuff out of the self-checkout lines. They're not taking good care of their children. They're just really bad people. And I just sit up and ignore these things because I've realized like I'm here for a reason. I'm here to do something for myself.
Bam. Perfection. And I'm glad that he ended it off with that statement, because a lot of times when we as people decide that we want to cheat, because it's a decision that you make. When you decide that you want to cheat, what it is that you're doing is a selfish act. I've always said it. I've always believed it. That cheating is a selfish act. But in the same retrospect, I also feel that a man can have intercourse with another woman that is not his girl, not his wife, and still not have any type of emotional attachment to that person. I feel like once the emotions get involved, then that's when it's actually cheating. For a woman, it's a lot different because there's a lot more risk involved with just simply sleeping with another man. Usually for them, it takes a bit more for them to just want to sleep. They need to somewhat be emotionally involved with this person. But and obviously there are those few that can do it without the emotional attachment, but usually most of the time it takes the emotional. And even when it starts off as maybe just a situationship, a lot of times the women will catch feelings. I've seen it happen with many of my female friends. It starts off as just getting some, and then they catch feelings. But anyway, y'all know what time it is. If you like this reaction, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for more. As always, the link to the original will be down in the description box below. If you haven't already, make sure you follow your boy on the gram and Twitter at Artofkickz, and I will catch y'all in the next one.